The position we placed money in our societies and our motive of placing it there has made it inevitable not to be the reasons behind many atrocities we are experiencing. The position we placed money in our societies and our motive of placing it there has made it inevitable not to be the reasons behind many atrocities we are experiencing. Our motive and our mindset towards money are not normal in a normal society. They are questionable. Of course, I have more money more than you. Should not make me look down on you if my mindset and motive of having the money is normal. And of course, in the normal society settings, it is abnormal to look down on people who lack what you have. It is abnormal to look down on people who lack what you have. It is abnormal to oppress people who lack what you have. It is abnormal to deny those who lack what you have their right. It is completely abnormal in a normal society setting to see your mate colleagues in school as a trash for lack of money. You know him or her and you did as if you didn't. You demoralize him. Beloved, you have what I don't have does not make you superwoman than I. Belittle me for what I don't have is not a normal attitude in Christendom. Brethren, whatever you have, you are given by God based on what He wanted to achieve through you, based on your ability to deliver. You have millions of dollars, and I have only $1. Both of us were given by God according to His plan and what He proposed to achieve through us. And of course, this should not bring discrimination at all. So it should not bring discriminations. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 says, "Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their ability. He then left on his trip." Now, brethren, judging these 3 servants based on what they were given will be wrong. And of course, none of them were judged in the scripture based on what they were given, but based on what they do with what they were given. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. You that have millions of dollars, you will be judged based on what you do with millions of dollars. And those with $1 will be judged also with what they do with $1 given to them by God. Of course, to whom much is given, much is expected. Our societies never see what they have as being given by God. They judge one another by what they were given and oppress one another by what they were given. They forgot that judgment will be based on what they do with what they were given. You with millions of dollars doing nothing with it will be condemned. And someone with $1 who make profit of $1, making $2, will be justified. Our society are not so. We take pride on what we were given, and this has brought comparison among us. And comparison brought discrimination, and of course discrimination propel enmity. Why enmity was the brain behind all manners of evil in our societies. Today's message is what I titled The Menace of Money in Our Societies, Part 2. The Menace of Money in Our Societies, Part 2. And the message is divided into 3 points. Today's message is divided into 3 points. The first point is what I call misconceptions about love of money. Misconceptions about the love of money. Beloved, there is a popular misconception in our societies about the love of money, of which I am here to address. There is a popular misconception in our societies about the love of money, of which I am here to address. Of course, in our society, nearly everyone professes to love money. Both old and young confess with their mouth that money deserved to be loved, because money could solve their problems and meet their basic need. It ought to be love. Beloved, not everything that is good or admired should gain our love if we are to have a better society. And of course, money is one of those things that should not gain our love. Why money is seen to be responsible for many evil is because our society love it. If we all begin to hate money, evil will begin to cease in our societies. Telling people that you hate money in our society look like you have committed sins. People will begin to look at you. They begin to look at you as someone who has lost his or her mind, because our society made us to believe from childhood that money deserves to be loved. We are living for money. All our effort on earth is to make money, and this has given birth to all manners of evil in our societies. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." Here, Apostle Paul is saying that if you love money, you have hands in evil that we are having in our societies, directly or indirectly. You have contributed to evil we are experiencing. Beloved, the love of money The love of money seems to magnetize evil very fast than any other things. The crave to get more money has given birth to more evil in our societies. A market woman that bought goods at the rate of 100 naira and said to her customer that she bought it at the rate of 200 naira in order for her to sell the good as exorbitant rate. Just a person cannot say he is not responsible for all manners of evil we are experiencing in our society. She cannot tell me that she is never loved money, and she can never tell me at all that same love of money has not made her to commit herself to evil. Those of you who are ready to do anything for the sake of getting more money, are not in any way doing us good in our societies. If nothing is too big to let go for the sake of getting more money, I think you are not supposed to be in this planet. I will advise you to change planet. Beloved, because of Achan's love of money, he exposes the whole Israelite into all manners of evil. Joshua chapter 7. Only one man called Achan ignite evil on a whole nation because he loved money. He loved to have more money and more valuable things. Beloved, if you hate money, it does not mean that you will lack money. If you profess that you hate money, it does not mean that you will lack money. And if you love money, it does not likewise also mean that you will have more money. In fact, you stand the chances of not even having more money at all. You stand the chances of not even having enough money. According to Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10, those who love money will never have enough. How meaningless to think that wealth brings true happiness. Beloved, let us redirect our love to something else to have a better society that we all desire. Now, brethren, the love of money is the major reason why hire killer is still in business. The love of money is one of the major reasons why hire killer are still on the business. If our society begins to hate money with perfect hatred, the business of hire killer will cease. The business of hire killer will cease. Their business will be no longer patronized anymore. The love of money is responsible to lawlessness we are having in our society. The love of money is responsible to lawlessness we have seen so far in our societies. Many people are ready to embark on a journey of no return for the sake of money. For the sake of getting more money, they are ready to trade their life. We know that carrying drugs especially cocaine, will lead to your destruction, and you are still going abroad to do so. Only the love of money will be so responsible. The same love of money makes many people to see their fellow human being as the best way of making fast money, richer money. Many who take advantage of others for their selfish interest. The love of money is responsible. Our moral value, our moral value were relegated because love of money made it of no or little relevant to our survival. Many are ready to call a dog brothers because of money. Now, those who have sexual intercourse with dog does that in order to make more money. The love of money has made us to lose self-dignity. Beloved, we stand better chance to experience new societies where evil cease to exist, where evil cease to reign, if we all begin to hate money with perfect hatred. Point number 2 is what I call undue influence of money in our societies. Undue influence of money in our societies. Brethren, just like a man who is under the influence of alcohol is said to be abnormal, so likewise any society that is under the influence of money is also said to be abnormal. Society where everything are under the suggestion of money will never be normal at all. Will never be normal. Once money begins to toxicate our societies, we should expect nothing other than abnormality. Society where everybody can have answer to their heart desire as long as they have money is no longer a normal society. King Solomon said money answered all things. Money answered all things. Now, if that all things means whether good or bad, that kind of society is abnormal society. If you can have a say over anything as long as you have money, it is abnormal society. In a society where you can have a say as long as you have money, that kind of society is abnormal. Society where young men were given the position of headers as long as they have money is no longer a normal society. Society where conscience can be monetized is no longer a normal society anymore. Society where money could cause you to take yes for no and no for yes is abnormal societies. Society where money became the determinants of who is appropriate to take up any important position is said to be abnormal. Abnormal will become a normal phenomenon in a society where money has undue influence over moral value. Brethren, unduly overemphasis of money has caused our society more harm than necessary. It has gotten to a stage where hardly can we find anyone who is ready to do anything for free. People are no longer have the seed to do things for free in the name of our Lord. The eyes of everyone is widely open to money. We just want to make money in every effort rendered to God and man. Even in the church, the love of men and women have waxed cold in doing anything for free. Instrumentalists are now moving from one church to another. They are moving from church who have more money. They are moving from church who have nothing to offer to the one who can pay more. Some are moving away from church who can pay much to the one who can pay more better. Money has been the motive behind their movement. It is no longer the spreading of the gospel anymore. They actually claim to be propagating the gospel of Christ, but their motive is to make more money. Virtually many of those gospel musicians who happen to be wayward was once a choir members of a church. They were once a choir member of one church or the other. They migrate from being church members to gospel musicians. They migrated from being church member to gospel musician with wrong motive. Their motive is either to be influential and also to make more money. And of course, they profess with their mouth that they are advancing the cause of the kingdom, but they were not. Their wrong motive of becoming the gospel musician led them to compromise. They became worldly, even than worldly people itself. They even love the world much more than the people in the world. Satan has enticed many of them with money and popularity. Their position in the Christendom have been declared vacant. Beloved, money happen to be the magic tools in the hands of Satan and spread the tentacle across the length and breadth of the Christendom. This is likened to the cobweb who has spread everywhere. Its victims are those who love it and ready to do anything to get it. Now, minister of God who are determined, any minister of God who are determined to eat the fruit of the Gentiles at all costs, are being lured into all manners of evil. God, who says in the scriptures that he shall give the fruit of the Gentiles, shall give you the blessing of the Gentile, will be the one to do so, not you. It is not your business. Converting the blessing of the Gentiles to yourself with your own efforts will definitely be to your destructions. Telling the deliverance candidate to pay more, to pay money before you begin to pray, will definitely going to be to your destructions. asking church member who happen to be a notorious armed robber to pay tithe of what was stolen will be to your destructions. Brainwashing church member with big grammar in order to take advantage of their ignorance will be to your destructions. Financing heavenly missions with deceptions for personal gain, for personal financial gain will be to your destructions. Beloved, desiring the blessing of the Gentiles, desiring the blessings of the Gentiles from God without working for God will be a wishful thinking. It will be a wishful thinking. A man of God was desiring to have a jeep. He asked me to tell God on his behalf. God said to me, if he needs jeep, let him do the work of jeep. Beloved, doing the work of bicycle in the kingdom and asking God for a jeep motor, it will be a denial of request. Point number three is what I call money and its motivation. Money and its motivations. A popular prophet in a city once said that the vision he saw inside air condition is very clear than one without. He was commenting on what comfortability is capable of doing, even in the life of a man of God. And of course, he was commenting on the role of money and comfort, which cannot be overemphasized. Now, should we be saying that the man of God is carnal for saying comfortability have role to play in spirituality? Now, John the Beloved was in the wilderness. John the Beloved was in the wilderness when he received revelations documented inside the scriptures. Wilderness is never a place of comfort. And of course, he was never motivated with money before he was given revelations consisting of 22 chapters. He was never motivated before he received revelation that consists 22 chapters. Beloved, don't tie spirituality together with money. Don't see comfortability as motivation. Don't see comfortability as the motivation that propels spirituality. Don't see money behind every activities that are spiritual. It is possible for a poor man living in a room to receive revelations from heaven. Likewise, it is possible as well for a rich man living in a duplex to receive revelation from heaven. Beloved, saying you will serve God better when you are rich than when you are poor is a mere word. It's a mere word in the kingdom. It's baseless. What you cannot do when you are poor are more likely to be what you can never do when you are rich. Looking for comfort before you serve God will be a wishful thinking. If you cannot serve God when you are not comfortable, you can't serve Him when you are comfortable. Beloved, giving God conditions before you render spiritual services to Him is not biblical. Brethren, let whatever we are doing be traceable to the scriptures so that we will not be found guilty in the sight of God. Don't let the love of money make us to develop wrong perspective towards God. Psalm 73 verse 1 to 22. Don't judge God or limit Him by the amount of money He made available to you. Don't narrow your belief towards God. All of these are temporal. Lay hold on what are eternal. And as you are doing so, may God bless you.